Joining me now, former federal prosecutor Ankush Khardori. He's a senior writer for Politico magazine. Ankush, welcome back to the Sunday Show. So Michael Cohen has downplayed his role in the trial, calling himself a narrator rather than a star witness. Is he not a star witness?
Oh, he's a star witness. He's actually a central component of the government's case at this point. Let's just assume, for purposes of our discussion, that the government or the jury is prepared to conclude that the records were falsified, that the payment records were falsified. In order to convict Trump, they still need to conclude that the falsification, Trump's involvement in that falsification, was intended to aid or conceal a crime. Thus far, there's only been some light circumstantial evidence that I think would satisfy that element. Cohen is likely to be the only one who can potentially provide direct evidence in the form of maybe his conversations with Donald Trump about what Trump was told about why the records were falsified in the manner that they were and what the purpose was. And so we haven't heard any of that in the course of the trial yet. And that's going to be crucial to obtaining conviction, because it is the effect of it may have been to conceal a crime, but it has to be intent beyond a reasonable doubt. And someone has to put that intent in his head, either from Michael Cohen or circumstantially from other evidence.
Could we see new evidence come out from Michael Cohen's testimony?
Yeah, I think it's likely we will hear him describe conversations between him and Donald Trump about the records. Because even in the indictment, there are a couple of references to conversations, but they're very abbreviated. So my expectation is that we're going to hear about those conversations in more detail.
We're going to hear about them, meaning read, or is it possible that there could be audio that's played at trial, like recordings?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible there could be audio. My guess it'll just be Cohen testifying. It could be audio because Michael Cohen has no shame about sharing audio recordings. Right. It's actually already come back to hurt the government in the case, his surreptitious audio recordings. And can I offer a couple thoughts on the opening?
Yeah.
Okay. Michael Cohen keeps saying that he lied on Donald Trump's behalf. That is only true with respect to his lies to Congress.
Right.
He lied to the Justice Department. He lied to the IRS. He lied to banks. None of that was for Trump. All of it was for him. And after the court decision you read, which was indeed favorable to Michael Cohen, a couple of months later, a federal judge concluded that he had perjured himself. So the whole story of Michael Cohen's credibility in history is more complicated than I think people even have the ability to process.
Wait, so then given what you just said, how worried, if you were on the prosecution's team tonight, right now, how worried would you be about Cohen's testimony tomorrow or this coming week?
I wouldn't be so much worried about tomorrow, or because the first day or two, presumably the prosecution will be putting him on and they will likely have had a sort of plan worked out. It's the cross that's going to be the problem. And I don't know, anyone who's seen Michael Cohen on television, I mean, this is not a man who's terribly composed or, I don't know, as cognitively fluent as he would like to believe he is. I don't know. I don't have a nicer way to say it. Anyway, he could easily be taken apart during a cross-examination. And if he blows up, right, and starts railing against whoever and just going off the cuff, because he's going to be up there for hours, potentially days on cross. Like, is he going to be able to hold it together? I don't know. He doesn't seem to me to have a lot of self-control. And most of the key witnesses in the case have already dumped all over him before this.
I was going to ask about his being prolific, you know, the memoir, the podcast, everything.
All terrible ideas. For a witness.
All right, so I'm going to skip that and get to Allen Weisselberg, the former Trump Organization CFO, who obviously allegedly part of this whole scheme. But the judge mentioned him as a potential witness. Yeah. But neither the prosecution nor the defense wants him to appear as a witness. And I want to read this from the Daily Beast, which I think is a beautiful description. It says, because no one knows what a pissed off old man suffering in jail for the second time around after once again taking the fall for his boss might say. He's a loaded gun and he could point in either direction. Why would the judge want him to take the stand?
I am equally confused by this. I'm sure it's happened before, but I personally have never seen this happen or heard of this happening, where neither side has asked for this witness to attend. I don't even know why he would think the government would want to call Weisselberg. They just had him plead out to perjury. So why would they believe anything he has to say? Or why would they sponsor him as a witness in front of a jury and suggest that he's credible when they don't believe he is? So, and Trump's lawyers don't seem to want him there either. So I don't know what this is about.
Could the judge force Weisselberg to come testify?
It's a good question.
I mean, technically speaking, I'm not a lawyer. So
I don't
could
think
the judge
so.
do that?
Neither side has subpoenaed him. He's not under any kind of compelled process. I think he'd have to be there voluntarily in some sense. I don't. It's a very strange thing. I'm actually very curious to see how it unfolds.
Well, we'll see about Weisselberg in the next few days, but all eyes are on Michael Cohen tomorrow and the rest of this week. Ankush Khardori, thank you very much for coming to this Sunday show, coming back.